Hello everyone, welcome back to a new YouTube cast. Today we're going to be having a look at a gameplay between Serral and ByuN, as ByuN starts with a proxy 3 Rex here on Lightshade. Now proxy 3 Rex, wait, what is this? Oh man, we kind of missed the openings here. This is looking like a 12 full into a roach alert. We see 3-1 in gas, which is highly inefficient. 2-2 is a lot more efficient. Mine's a lot more gas, or a little more gas at least. I'm not quite sure why he's doing it like this. This is actually perfect for Serral, I feel like. He's getting 3 Rex. Now 3 Rex is kind of the most aggressive opener there is in the early game for Terran. 2 Rex, slightly more economically inclined. And 3 Rex really is very heavy on the Marines, very delayed on the gas, which also means it delays the tech. Now, if this was a 2 Rex, I would say this probably is still semi-okay actually for ByuN. He's gonna get a bunch of Marines out and all that good jazz. Now, he walks into the naturals like, oh crap, this is not good. Sees 2 roaches pop, and this should probably mean that he just runs back home, right? That should be the entire plan at this point. Serral's gonna see, hey, there's a couple of Marines here, and it's going to be pretty happy about that. I don't actually know. Oh, I love this eBay block. If he could have hidden this, well, he wouldn't have been in time with the cancel. But now it still stays alive. I mean, this is going to get, yeah, it should definitely get cancelled. This is a good move by Serral. So Serral now is not sure if there's Marines being hidden on the map or anything like that. So he's just scouting with his Ravager, making sure that nothing is being hidden on the map. He's going to move across the map with 2 Ravagers. Keep 1 Ravager at home. There's a single bunker, second bunker's on the way. 4 Marines in that initial bunker. I kind of like the position here for ByuN, honestly. He forced that 1 Ravager at home. This hatchery is going to be delayed. Now, the problem here for ByuN is going to be that he won't be able to do anything for a very, very long time, because these Ravagers are going to be able to contain him. Serral actually forgetting to send in his Overlord, which means these Ravagers were kind of useless here for a while. Gonna be biling the depot and this bunker. Oh, accidentally walks into shooting range. This is bad. Serral does need to pay a little more attention there. Once again walks into shooting range of that bunker. Gonna pick up his second depot here, but another depot on the way already, and I have a feeling this bunker is never really going to fall. Just one of those weird feelings that I have. 19 workers on the main base. ByuN outworkering his opponent, not quite outmining yet, because of course there's 5 workers that are not doing much of anything. He's also mining gas, while Serral completely pulled out of gas. Now got back into gas with 1-1 drones. 3rd hatchery on the way. Still no command center here though for ByuN, who is looking economically pretty weak, I have to admit. It's funny, this position might actually be pretty dangerous if this Overlord stayed around. Might actually be able to bile down a CC like this. Now, luckily for ByuN that's not the case. As we see him go into a Cyclone. He's on 6 Marines currently, which isn't all that much, and he doesn't really have any real counterplay, I would say here. The only counterplay he really has is with a single Cyclone. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Cyclones, but if they're speed out already, yeah, that Cyclone's going to be like, well, never mind here, Chief. This is going to be a quick return back home, because 6 to 8 links will just completely destroy a Cyclone if the links have speed. Now, there's no Hellions, there's a single mine on the way. Starport about to be going down. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Yeah, Starport, Reactor, single mine. Now, the problem for ByuN, on top of having a crap army, a crap eco, and 0 scouting, is that he really has 0 clue about what Serral is doing, right? Serral is on 3 Ravagers and a single link. Is just going to be droning up these 3 bases. He saw the Cyclone, knows most likely there's not going to be a lot of Hellions. So Serral's like, okay, cool, I can just drone up, gonna get my lair. I'm on 2 gas already. I'm mining a minimal amount of gas for a very long time, which means my mineral income is going to be better. And then from here on out, Most likely, once he saturates 3 mineral lines, which he already has 2 mineral lines saturated at this point, he can just start unit production, whether that's roaches, whether that's links, whether that's, well, most likely one of the two. As we see, no evil chamber going down yet. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see anything like roach speed or maybe just go into Ravager Linkbane. I wouldn't mind Ravager Linkbane here either, but yeah, roach speed does seem like something that would make sense here. Yeah, roach speed. So Serral, realizing he's in a very superior position economically, and he's not actually planning on doing something aggressive with these roaches, most likely. This is just defensive roaches. These are roaches that are saying, hey, I'm so freaking far ahead that the only way I can lose is to like some marine tankle in from like a 3-rex, you know? Which is kind of what's happening, except there's no tanks. It's just pure marine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play Roach Ravager defensively, and then if I realize you're going to get a 30C and go into a macro game, I can just go into melee upgrades and +2 carapace, and I'm going to be in a fine spot. That is exactly here what Serral is thinking. I know that because I can read his mind. A couple of bowls being thrown down. Actually get the part of a medevac here, which is impressive. I'm sure this Ling is doing, he's having a blast. He must get really dizzy. Same area again and again. It's kind of boring as well. I feel like there's technology for this, but caveman zergs. Ooh! Actually spots the drops. Now we know what this Ling was doing. I was like, what the heck is this Ling up to? But all makes sense at this point. These drops get spotted once again. Overseer is gonna get taken out. Not a single upgrade yet for ByuN. eBay's just now going down. Tank starting. Roaches are on the way. 62 workers. No fourth base yet. With this creep tumor placement, I guess we're gonna be seeing a fourth base over here. But I mean, there's not a lot of creep there either. See a bunch of roaches and ravagers rally towards the right side. Probably anticipating this drop that got spotted by this brilliant Ling. Changeling moving in right now as well. And we have ByuN looking to deny a little bit of creep. Not sure if he can though. He's gonna get a single tumor. He's gonna get a... No, it's not gonna get anything. Loses 3-4 marines for free. Here on the right side is gonna lose a couple of marines, or at least a single marine. I think that Serral actually is preparing for a Roach Ravager push at this point. I was saying initially he's most likely just gonna go into Roach Ravager for safety and defense, but it looks like with the position he's in, he can just kind of walk across the map with 1-1 and at least deny the third base for a little bit. Now, this is an easy defense for ByuN, or an easy area to defend. Like you have some nice high ground positions here. We see this tank moving in position as well, but if you get high ground vision as the Zerg here, you can just buy all these tanks as well. And I mean, Serral does have good upgrades. This is why does he keep patrolling everything? Just let them stand still, man. Leave these guys alone. I'm not sure what the Queen Walk is for. I mean, there's not that many air units. If there was Banshees here, this would make a lot of sense. But there is no Banshees. So now we're going to be moving into a fight. We see 4 tanks in position. Couple of free hits on this orbital command. Bunch of SCVs going down already. Now the tanks are kind of jumping into the action as well. A couple of big pot shots being landed on top of those roaches. Oh my god, this is big. Link flank coming from the left. Not doing much of anything, but a lot of tanks still alive. 1 tank goes down, but this is a lot of damage that is being dealt here on these roaches, and unit loss looking very, very nice here for ByuN. Now, I'm not saying ByuN is all of a sudden in a lead, but this got stopped as well as it could have, honestly. Sure, ByuN is going to be down in upgrades. Sure, he's still down in workers, albeit slightly. But he has the army comp to completely shut down this Roach Ravager pressure. We see Serral sending back home his queens right now. He had no inject during the majority of this. Let's not forget about this. So now he's going to be walking back home. Probably wants to drone up a little bit. 61 workers against 64. Marines pushing out through the middle of the map. Is this it? I don't think this is it, ByuN. Probably time to head back home. Loses about 15 supply here in Marines, and Serral's gonna be quite happy with that trade, as this will further delay any potential move outs from ByuN. No, you don't want to be dropping right now. This is not the play. This is definitely not the play. 4CC being taken. 2 medevacts do spot these roaches. 4CC gets cancelled. This should be forcing another lift on this orbital, I almost feel like. A triple drop as he's being roach Ravager in. This is absolutely insane. This is actually insane. Serral is going to be late with the rotation though. We see these drops. Why are they being so slow? They should straight up run into this base and just start dropping on top of drones. Instead, we're going to be dealing a lot of damage to the creep spread here on the left side. Or well, ByuN is. These 4 depots, I have no clue what they're doing. But as he supply block, these depots are actually relatively important. So if these do not finish up, or if they die immediately again, ByuN's going to be walking into another supply block. That's kind of painful, honestly. And I have no clue what they were for. Big tank count, by the way. 6 tanks out already, plus 1 on the way right now. 2-2 being researched here for ByuN, who's going to be taking out a bunch of queens. That's 4 queens going down, 3 queens going down, 2 queens still alive. Big fungal from the freaking balcony over here. I was like, where does it come from? Can only be from here. Straight from there. Look at that guy, just chilling, having a glass of wine, throwing down some fungals. Underground he goes again. 5th hatchery, finally down for Serral, who's been working off very low eco. 67, 68 workers, sometimes even hitting 69. Nice. And finally gonna be going into banelings. Do we see an ultra den as well, or ultra cavern? I must say, no ultra cavern yet. Oh, there we go. Ultra cavern, couple of spores going down as well, just in case of liberator harass. I assume at least. And here we see a double drop with Marines heading towards the 5th base. Serral's creep threat towards his top side of the map has been lacking a little bit. We have to pay attention to that. We have to be honest here, as now this base is gonna fall as a result of that. No vision there, no units in position, and that's gonna be a 5th base down. Now 4th base for ByuN is flying over. 5th base is done already. Tunneling claws on the way, a Viper on the way. I'm not sure if ByuN can just move out with this army, but if he can get into any type of position where he is threatening a base, I mean, his tank count is freaking insane. This is 10 tanks, 55 Marines, and this is a pure roach Ravager army with the high class balcony infestor. Oh, mine hit damages a couple of roaches, killed one as well. Oh, he completely missed his biles. This is very uncharacteristic for Serral. He threw down 4 biles on a single tank, and tank didn't die. It's like, huh, I guess I didn't really throw it down on the tank after all. Now we get the focus fire. Oh, this Ultra Cavern is going to be enough. Ultra Cavern gets taken out. Chitinous plating is denied. So I'm not sure if ByuN saw that tunneling claws just finished up. That might be some important info. The moment you see tunneling claws, you probably want to get another turret down over here. There's already a bunch of turrets in random locations. ByuN is very afraid of these burrowed roaches. That's pretty cool to see. Here come more burrowed roaches. Now, there is a turret here, so I don't quite know what the plan here is for Serral with the burrow. Probably needs to take... Oh my god, gets a couple of good abducts here. 3 tanks go down immediately. It's gonna take out this turret as well well, indirectly takes out this turret by burning it. Now just throws another bile on it. He's like, you know what, I don't want to wait for this garbage. Gets scanned on top of his army. 3-3 about to finish up here for ByuN. There is a couple of ultras here. Serral actually looking to break this position. Serral needs to be careful though. It looks like he has a lot of money, but a lot of that really is in minerals. He only has 1k gas currently, and ByuN's army is big. ByuN's army is scary. This Infestor is kind of legendary, honestly. I want to be following this Infestor for a while, see what it's going to do for the rest of it. I wish I could hit hotkey units for my, like in the game, you know, so I could come back to it later on. But this guy I'm just going to keep selected, and when I want to, I'm just going to go back there. The balcony Infestor. Oh, turret going. I'm not going to be in time though, as these roaches did see that there was a turret there. Couple of roaches, I'm burrowing in the natural. Couple of roaches want to be going into the main. Not going to work, should burrow again. Yeah, there we go. Gonna go to the high ground. Tank should be taken out here. No, it's not gonna be the case. 11, 12 workers going down here for ByuN. Meanwhile, we have the Ultras and the Ravagers blasting a couple of units over here. Trying to go for that planetary. Not quite enough DPS to take that out. These roaches are gonna fall most likely, as Marines coming back to kill it. Decent scan takes care of that. And we have the Vipers going back home to gather a little bit of energy. Where's my main man? Alright, here we go. 200 energy. 200 energy for Eugene, the high class Infestor. The man, the myth, the legend. In his bathrobe on his balcony, casting a couple of fungals while sipping his $12,000 wine. Doing, doing, doing. Oh, he never leaves his balcony either. You see that? He's stuck here forever, my friends. This massive mansion. Oh, moves into vision. He likes to stay anonymous, undercover. Eugene rarely shows his face to the real world. Paparazzi journalists been trying to capture pictures of him for years. Only catching glimpses. Only catching glimpses. Now we do have a lot of ultras here. Genius plating has finished up. A couple of blinding clouds going down on these tanks. This is a messy engagement here. Eugene with 2 big fungals once again. And of course once again from that high ground. This guy's gonna stay alive forever. 11 kills right now. As Eugene once again goes undercover, not wanting to be... Ooh. No, no, no. No, no, no. Actually, I was kind of looking forward to following him. Alright, well, that's the end of him. 11 kills, though. Did a good job. Congratulations to him. He'll be sipping wine in heaven, guys. Don't you worry. We have 17 banelings on the way here for Serral. I'm not sure why it says 3 here. This is supposed to be a 0. Just now realized that. Probably because I pressed some buttons. It's funny because if we think of this game, I don't actually think that Serral has ever been mining that much. Like ByuN hasn't had that much mining either. Actually, let's have a look what the units lost has been so far. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the main reason why Serral is ahead is because the units lost just looks kind of good. Sure, he's been mining a little bit more, but usually we have these zergs on these grand economies, like we're thinking 95, maybe even 100 workers. But here, Serral's been between 67 and 75 workers the entirety of the game, and just been taking very, very efficient fights, which you almost never see against Terran. Usually, you're always working with very inefficient fights as a Zerg player. But that's not the case here. That's not the case here. Here we see a Zerg who's actually getting efficient fight and transitioning into Muda with +1 attack upgrades. This is absolutely insane. I've never seen this. The late game Muda switch. The last time I saw this was when I was playing an Archon game with Sol, and he said, let me just build a couple of Mudas, who then killed 4 SCVs and did nothing else. Let's see if these Mudas are going to be capable of much more. This is not a tiny investment. This is a 3.4k resource investment in minerals and gas. And I just don't see how this is gonna pay off. I mean, you might be able to snipe a tank here and there, but I feel like ByuN is just too set up already. There's a couple of turrets here, there's a couple of turrets here. Sure, you force out some turrets, but I mean, that's in minerals as well. I think there's gonna be plenty of minerals here right now for ByuN. Working with a majority ghost army. 20 ghosts, 35 marines, so not majority ghosts, but at least a large minority. Large minority group indeed. Here's a setup. Here's a setup. Serral wants to be attacking into. I don't think he can, right? ByuN is ready with the snipes. ByuN is ready with the EMPs. Sacrifices to Ghost. Now, there's not a lot of DPS here in this army that can actually take out Banelings. These Banelings rolling in. Gonna be killing a lot of the Marines. Bunch of Ghosts going down as well. And Muta's actually really helping here. Ensuring that whether the Banelings explode or not, there's going to be some damage on those units running away. Because the speed of the Mutalisk is so freaking high, of course. A couple of snipes are going to be going down on these Overseers, and Mutas will kind of retreat. 80 workers now here, 48 more Banelings on the way for Serral, who's just switching completely into Lingbane Muta at this point. And it's funny to see, because with this Lingbane Muta composition, you feel like mines are probably going to be the preferred defense for ByuN, but ByuN just keeps rebuilding tank after tank after tank. And I say the reason why you'd probably want some mines is because it just fights better against Lingbane Muta, and also because spreading tanks around to deal with run-bys and things like that is very supply intensive and tends to actually be quite bad. As we see, 2 Ghosts going down, 1 more tank gets taken out. A couple of Mutas actually getting sniped here. Overseer gets sniped as well. These 2 turrets are going to be the end for another Muta. Meanwhile, though, this being an orbital actually helping out here, as he can lift it, not going to die against these Banelings. Banelings rolling forward, though, going to be doing a lot of damage here to the entire army of ByuN, who's being put back to 47 workers right now. Mutas in the main base doing a little bit of damage. We see the Ghost, the March of the Ghost. So this tank Ghost composition is basically something that is too far ahead of its time. It just doesn't make much sense, because he's playing against such a caveman-y style right now. Like this is some caveman stuff, you know, like this Muta Lingbane, that he doesn't really need tank Ghost. He needs to be going back to more basic units himself. He needs some Marauders against this. He needs some Mines. He needs some Marines, and then maybe you can start thinking about adding other things once you can deal with this basic army that consists of Lingbane. But I don't think having 25 Ghosts and mass tank is the answer against this specific composition. That's a composition you see in the late game when the army for Zerg is more sophisticated as well, and you're going to be fighting for terrain. Maybe you add in some lips, but here, no mines against this type of Baneling count is just going to be very difficult. Yes, tanks are good. Yes, tanks can splash on top of these Banes, but I don't think it's enough. There's not enough damage on these Banes here to stop these run-ins, and also you can only defend one position with this many tanks. The other positions almost having no tanks, and once Serral realizes this and starts rotating, I feel like ByuN is just going to be in a lot of trouble. As I say, that a lot of good little trades are happening for ByuN, who is actually pulling ahead now in units lost. Now you could say, oh, that's probably because of the unit comp, but that's mainly because Serral is playing Lingbane, and this is a style where you heavily rely on higher drone counts in order to afford this high roller style where you're just constantly exploding Banelings on outside bases. Don't forget, ByuN is kind of locked into 5 bases. His bases are running out, and once these bases run out, Serral needs to pounce on him and ensure that he can't get a 6 base, because once you get in a split map scenario with Lingbane against a Terran, you're gonna be in for a world of trouble. Here comes a lot of Lingbane trying to blow up the top planetary. Not even sure if that's quite worth it though. There's almost no money here remaining. All of these Banelings are gonna explode onto it, and a bunch of SCVs are gonna be going down. Now, one thing to note is that the army of ByuN is going to be freaking massive. Like actually huge, because he has no workers left. We're working with a 147 supply of army against 97 supply of army here, and ByuN isn't even maxed yet. This is actually insane. His army is going to be so big. A bunch of Marauders are being built. Medevac count probably should be increased, as there's only 4 at this moment. His freaking 16 tanks. Okay, that's just pushing it. I do not see the use in 16 tanks, and I think Serral actually is feeling a little bit afraid at this point. He's like, hey, wait a second. This is a massive army. My bank is actually tiny. Serral has almost no bank. Good Fungal here, the brother of Eugene coming into play. Bane is rolling forward, not going to be it. Good piles on top of those tanks. I was criticizing ByuN for his playstyle, but now, I mean, his fights have been very good. If he can get another base up, how many orbitals does he have? He has 7 orbitals, which means he's gonna be able to get... What is this guy doing? What is this command center doing? This makes absolutely no sense. Oi, 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 oi. Single drone being burrowed here now. ByuN actually has so much supply, and his army is so sophisticated. Sadly, he can't keep this base alive. He can't be spread out, or at least he's trying to, but I don't think this is possible. A bunch of ghosts moving forward, snipes on individual Ravagers is something we don't see every day. Now, on top of that, we have this bottom base. Oh, this is the lost CC, the lost sun coming back home. It's like, I've seen enough of the map. Dad, I've seen enough of the world. I can come back home. Meanwhile, Serral pushing with a lot of Broodlords here. Now, if Ghosts were in position here, I'd say this is relatively okay for ByuN. But right now, no Ghost in position. Tanks probably need to unsiege, but they can't. They'll immediately lose this position. 1, 2. One tank is going to fall for now. Good moves here by ByuN, honestly. Not wanting to lose any of his army. Just kind of temporarily gives up this base. Couple of snipes coming in. 1 snipe, 2 snipe, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, boom, boom. Banelings rolling in from every angle. Oh my god, I missed the left side. I think ByuN also missed the left side. These Banelings are going to get a fantastic engagement. Majority of the army is just going to be cleaned up. I don't think this is what's supposed to happen here. I think with this type of tank count, if you're aware of what's happening, you're not supposed to lose this type of army count. Oh, that was a great fight for Serral, who's up 60 workers. And don't forget that ByuN's entire strategy at this point was, hi, I have big army, I can't lose it. And then now he has a small army and he still can't lose it. But I don't think that's going to be working. He's working with this individual base. I mean, there's a lot of mules. He's mining more minerals from one base than Serral is mining from these, what is it, 3.5, almost 4 bases. That's the power of the mule, man. These guys work hard. SCVs must feel pretty incompetent next to the mules. Holy crap. See these guys bringing home the big bucks and you're barely helping out the motherland. Pathetic. A couple of more snipes on these Broodlords going down. One Broodlord gets pulped. Good fungal there, catching a lot of the ghosts. Banelings managing to get another connection there, and I'm afraid for ByuN that this might just be it. It's so funny how little Broodlords actually do when there's meta effects, but it won't matter. GG gets called and Serral wins this game here on Lightshade. Now, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the like button either. That does help me out a lot. And hopefully I'll see you all next time for a new video. Bye bye.